Hey, Carlos, are you there? I have something I'd like to talk to you about really quick.
Oh, wow. Frida? It's been a while since I've gotten a message from my own little sister. What's up?
Well, the thing is that I'm kind of really worried about Mom.
You're worried about Mom? I don't get it. Is she in trouble or something like that? Why would you be worried about her?
Her and I were actually talking on the phone yesterday, you see. And she just didn't sound like herself at all. I don't know, it was like all the energy had been sucked out of her or something like that.
And you think that's weird? That just kind of sounds like Mom, if you ask me.
You really think that's normal? You mean that she's not stuck and hasn't been feeling bad or anything like that?
No, she hasn't been sick or anything as far as I know. And did Mom even say that she was feeling bad to you or something? I imagine she probably told you she was feeling normal.
Well, yes. She did say that she was feeling okay. But something was off. I could hear it in her voice.
I don't know. Maybe it's just an age thing? You know how people slow down and lose their energy quicker when they're older. You're always talking about how your mother-in-law just sleeps in all day, right?
Well, yeah. But that's because my mother-in-law is much older than our mom. I'm not sure you can compare the two.
You know, I really hate to be the one to break this to you, sis, but our mom is no spring chicken anymore. You know that, right? She's getting older, and that's something that's only going to continue. But you must be having a pretty hard time having to take care of your mother-in-law like that, right?
It is really hard most times, yes. But Lisa, my mother-in-law, is really a sweet woman and does her best to make it easier on me.
I see. But still, don't you think it would just be better to throw her in a home and just be done with it?
No, I don't think the situation is quite that dire yet. I don't have any problem looking after her for now. Besides, it is nice that we all live together, so Juan can help out from time to time too.
Man, what a weird guy. I mean, the moment Mom needs help taking care of herself, I'm throwing her straight into a retirement home. But, you know, she's always saying how she thinks she'd prefer that to me helping her as well. She knows that I have my handful with the kids here and don't have time for her.
Well, if that's really what Mom says she wants to do in the future, then I guess I won't say anything. But I personally think it'd be best to keep her at home for as long as possible before finding a retirement home.
I thought you just said that you weren't going to say anything. You sure broke that promise fast.
Look, Carlos, I know that taking care of an aging parent can seem daunting at first. But isn't that part of why we live in these multi-generational homes anyways? I think we should be grateful for the chance to be so close to our parents. Oh, of course, I kind of already figured that you were pretty against looking after Mom in any way.
Well, the biggest difference is that when Mom does need that help, I'll be able to actually give it to her by putting her in a home. Because unlike your poor husband, I work for a top-level company and make a ton of money.
Carlos, come on. Please don't talk about Juan that way. Why can't you just keep those kinds of thoughts to yourself?
Because it's my life. And if I want to talk about it, I will. If you don't like it, then you should have chosen a better husband.
Ugh. Seriously, why are you always like this? Don't you realize that nobody finds this charming or endearing? I think it's great that you work for such a big company. But why does that make you want to put everyone else down? You know that one day something unfortunate is going to happen to you, and you'll have driven everyone who would have helped you away.
You're just jealous. And besides, I'm only telling the truth, and maybe when the truth changes, then I'll change my tune.
Okay, well, I want you to know that I think the world of my husband, and think that he's an amazing man.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sure he's just a great guy. But you try telling him that at least I can afford to put my mother into a home when she needs it. Anyways, I've got some things I need to attend to, so I'm going to go.
Right. Well, I am sorry for bugging you while you're at work. Please tell Mom I said hi. Hey, Carlos. I was just curious. Is Mom asleep right now or something? I'm trying to call her, but she isn't picking up or answering my text.
You're asking me about what Mom is doing? I really don't know. Why do you think I'd have any clue about that anyways?
Is Mom not in the house right now? I'm confused. How could you not know what she's up to?
Oh, right. She had a little dinner party with her friends. That's where she is right now.
Oh, I see. Well, I just wanted to call Mom because my mother-in-law passed away.
Really? Wow, that's awesome. You're finally free. You don't have to worry about taking care of that brat ever again.
Carlos, what is the matter with you? I just told you that someone has died.
Well, I'm just being honest with you. I mean, you are free now, right? You don't even have any parents-in-law to worry about now.
Carlos, please. I'm just crushed about this. I really am sad about Lisa's passing.
Yeah, but you should have known that she wasn't really long for this world at all, right? But, anyways, why did you want to tell Mom about all this?
Well, because I was talking to Mom about how Lisa wasn't doing well. And Mom mentioned wanting to go to her funeral when it happened.
I see. Well, I hope you don't think that I was going to go to some funeral for an old lady I barely even knew.
No, I didn't really expect that you would go, to be honest. But don't worry. I really don't expect much out of you at all.
I'll just buy a card or something and give it to Mom so that she can give it to your husband. It really is the least I can afford. Literally. Maybe I'll even throw in some flowers if I'm feeling generous.
Great. I'm sure those gestures will be greatly appreciated.
Anyways, even if this old woman is dead, you probably even weren't in her will, right? Don't you think that's messed up? You took care of her for 3 years, and she doesn't even leave you anything?
I really wasn't taking care of Lisa with the expectation that I'd be making any money from it.
Yeah. You're such a saint, aren't you? But just know that I can't let Mom be over there for too long. She's got to be back at the house soon.
But Carlos, I was hoping that Mom could stay over here with us for at least a week or something.
I'm sorry. That just isn't going to work with my wife at all. You're going to cause some serious trouble for us.
Well, what's going on with Lucia? Why would it cause trouble for you?
Because if Mom isn't at home, then that means that she'll have to take over doing the work that Mom does. You know that we have kids to deal with her, right? That's why we need Mom here to keep the house clean and do all the cooking for us.
Carlos, please. I'm asking for a week with Mom. Are you really going to deny me that? I can't even remember the last time that I got to see Mom at this point.
Well, that's because you made the choice to become a live-in nurse for your mother-in-law. Don't go blaming other people for your choices.
I know that I was taking care of Lisa for a long time, but still.
I'm sorry, but here at my house, we have rules. And the most important rule is no free rides. We're not just going to hold on to Mom's stuff so she can go on some vacation.
Carlos, please. You know that this isn't going to be a vacation. She's going to be here helping with the funeral and spending time with Juan and I. Besides, it already sounds like you're making her do an awful lot of work, don't you think?
And just what is wrong with that? She's the one who moved into our place, not the other way around. If she wants to stay here, then she has to earn her keep. Besides, she agreed that we'd split up the work around the house when she first came to live with us here.
I know that, and I understand the situation. But I'm just saying that we should let Mom have a little rest too, don't you think? Is one measly week really going to bring your whole house to a grinding halt?
I am telling you that 1 week is going to be too much, and that should be enough for you. If she goes for a week, I'll consider her moved out of the house.
If you really need her help that much, then why don't you just hire a cleaning service for the week that she's gone? You're always going on about how much money you have and how good your salary is.
And I have so much money because I don't waste it on frivolous things like cleaning services when I have a perfectly good mother who can clean up after me instead.
I really just don't even know what to say to that. You're just impossible to talk to sometimes, do you know that?
Well, good. Then don't talk to me. But just know that Mom is living in my house. So you can't just take her out whenever you want without asking me first. I'm already being kind enough to let her go to the funeral, but once it's over, she needs to come straight back home. And I don't want to hear another word about it from you.
Carlos, what is the matter with you? I seriously don't even know what to say. Just what kind of hell have you been putting our poor mom through?
What in the world are you talking about right now?
Well, after the funeral, we all went out for dinner, and then all of a sudden, Mom just burst out into tears. She said it was the first time in a long time that she had gotten to eat a warm dinner. What have you been feeding Mom to make her say that? Because she told me that you only ever let her eat scraps and leftovers.
Oh, is that what she was talking about? What about it?
What about it? Well, that's just what I want to know. What is that? What are you doing to our mom? Why can't she just eat normally?
Well, a while back, Mom wouldn't get off our backs about not wasting food and even had the nerve to say something to my wife about it. So, ever since then, we've only been feeding her the leftovers to teach her a lesson about showing gratitude to us.
Are you kidding me? Please tell me that's a joke or something. Carlos, how could you do that?
I really don't know what you're even talking to me about this when it's Mom's fault for being so annoying about it.
But I mean, I just really can't see our mom snapping at someone over something like that. Are you sure that she wasn't just trying to gently ask you both not to waste so much food?
Doesn't really matter what tone of voice she took. The fact of the matter is that she was disrespectful, and that's why my problem with her was.
But you were the one saying that you'd be able to provide for our mom because of all the money you had. But you're not actually doing anything like that at all, are you?
Hello? Are you forgetting the part where I'm letting our mom live with us? I think giving someone a roof over their head is reason enough to be grateful. Don't you? Besides, everyone who knows that I'm letting our mom live with me says that I'm doing a really nice thing. So what do you think about that?
Are you really going to try and pretend like that's not just because you're letting them see what you want them to see? Besides, you were telling me that you all split the work around the house. But Mom tells me that she's been taking care of the kids, cleaning the house, and doing all of the cooking.
You have no idea what you're talking about at all. My wife and I do plenty around the house, and that old bat has some serious nerve talking behind our back. And you're just as bad for believing her without any proof of anything that she's saying at all.
I just don't get it. You know, I was suspicious when you first let Mom start to live with you. It just seems so unlike you.
Well, if you have a problem with the way that I'm taking care of Mom, then you can have her. After all, your mother-in-law just died, right? So how about I give you something new to take care of?
Okay, fine then. We'll do just that. I've already asked my husband, and he said he had no problem with it.
You mean that you're really gonna take Mom off our hands? You're just gonna drop from taking care of one old lady to the next? You really are an idiot. But far be it from us to stop you from doing this. You're only doing us a favor.
You really have no idea what you're talking about at all, do you? But I guess you'll realize the mistake you've made soon enough.
Oh, please. We had one rule, and that was that you had to earn your keep. And honestly, Mom barely kept up her end of the deal. I already know that my wife is going to be so pleased to know that she won't have to deal with my mother anymore.
I'm just telling you now that you are going to regret this. I'll make sure of that.
Oh yeah? I'm so scared. You're really gonna make me regret not having to deal with our old decrepit mom anymore.
Well, you do realize that the new house that you built is on the land that Mom and Dad own, right? I mean, I already know that Mom gave you the down payment to start construction on the new place. You go on and on about how much money you make and what a success you are. But I really don't think you're nearly as rich as you let on. But you should know that I'm never handing Mom back over to you.
What are you even talking about? I wouldn't even want Mom back if you begged me to take her off your hands. Hey, Frida! Did you change Mom's phone number?
I did, actually. Why do you want to know? Were you trying to get in contact with her?
Look, I just need you to talk to Mom and ask her to come back and live with us again. Please, I'm serious about this.
Wait, what? What is this all of a sudden? Don't you know Mom is going to be living with me from now on? I already told you that I was never going to let her go back and live with you or your family.
Please, you don't understand. Things are really falling apart here. The house hasn't been cleaned only since Mom left. And the kids are running around and just making things worse, and my wife. She walked out of the house and hasn't come back in a few days now.
And just what does any of that have to do with our mom living with you?
Please, when Mom was here to do all the housework, it was so much better. I thought we might be fine without her, but I was dead wrong, and I need her back.
Well, have you even tried cleaning up around the house on your own?
Are you out of your mind? I have a job. I can't just come home and be expected to clean up and cook as well.
Well, it sounds to me now that your wife has left. You're the only one who can do that kind of work.
Please, just send Mom back here just a little while. Just until the house is clean, and then you can have her back. I swear.
So you want me to send our mom to your house so that she can clean up your house like some sort of maid? You really need to wake up and face the facts, Carlos. Your whole family life revolved around exploiting our elderly mother. She's already told me about how neither of you nor your wife ever did any work around the house and left it all for her.
Well, I remember that Lucila came to me once telling me that Mom was bullying her about not doing anything around the house. But Mom said she wasn't doing anything like that at all.
And let me guess, you took your wife's side over our mom's. You really are a moron, do you know that? Why don't you just open your eyes and see who is actually doing the work around the house? I'm sure if you even cared to pay attention, you'd see that it was Mom doing all of the work all of the time. But you couldn't even offer to help her out even once? You couldn't even let her rest or have a single day off?
What part of me having a job and having to go to work every day to earn money don't you get?
You know, my husband has a job too. And he still comes home and will help clean and even cook when I ask him to. We don't use our jobs or other things as excuses to get out of what we need to do.
Don't you pretend like your loser husband and I are even close to being in the same tier. I'm leagues above him.
Oh, that's right. You're so rich and you work at such a fancy place, don't you? So I guess that should mean that you have enough money to figure this out all on your own, don't you? Well, good luck with it.
Wait, no. Hold on. Don't go. Please. Lucila left the house. She said she didn't want to take care of our kids.
Well, you're their father too, aren't you? Maybe you should step up and try acting like one for once.
But I have to go to work. How am I supposed to watch over the kids if I have to be in the office 8 hours of the day?
I don't know, Carlos. But you were the one who put Mom through all of this and treated her like a servant. So you've really got some nerve coming back to us and trying to ask for help. If you really want help, maybe you should try going to ask your in-laws and leave us alone.
Please. You don't understand. Lucila told me that if I don't get Mom back to do all the chores around here, that she would divorce me.
Wow. Sounds to me like you really know how to pick them then, don't you, Carlos? But you know what? Your marriage is none of my business. And it isn't Mom's job to hold it together through her own sweat and tears. You got yourself into this mess, and it's not our job to help you out of it. So why don't you act like an actual adult and take responsibility for your actions? After that, Carlos realized that no help was coming from us. He tried calling everyone he could to try and watch his children, but finally, he had no choice but to ask his in-laws. He thought that Lucia might have gone back to stay with them for the time being, but they had no idea where she had gone. After some investigating, Carlos managed to track her down to another man's house. Even in spite of her affair, after losing his family, Carlos didn't want a divorce. Lucia, on the other hand, only wanted a divorce and hired a lawyer to force Carlos to accept. After the divorce, Carlos began bugging Mom and I and begging for us to take him back, but we weren't having it. Realizing that we weren't going to budge on the matter, Carlos's calls became fewer and fewer until we stopped hearing from him at all. It was only months later that Mom finally said she wanted to talk to Carlos again. Or rather, she didn't want to lose her grandchildren because of what her son did. So now we're cautiously restarting a relationship with him, but it's going to be a long time before things are back to normal.
Hey, Mom, will you be home late again today? Dad made stew for supper again. Oh, he did? You will eat some when you get home this time, right? Listen, Emily, I need you to pass on a message to your dad. Tell him to quit doing things for me without asking. It's downright irritating. Huh? What kind of attitude is that? Surely you mean, thanks for making my supper. I get that he's bored and has nothing but free time on his hands after retiring, but I'd rather he didn't pretend like we were this happy, loved-up couple. If I'm honest, he's been nothing but a thorn in my side lately. Pretend what? Don't forget that I'm the one working long hours and putting food on the table for us all now. I am the breadwinner of this family. All your dad does is eat, sleep, and laze around the house, so he sure as heck isn't in any position to be complaining at me. What are you talking about? Isn't the fact that Dad's able to live off his pension now proof that he worked hard all his life? What's wrong with him taking it easy after all he's done for us? I don't understand. You're a hard-working career woman, and I think that's something to be proud of, but at the same time, I think you should be more respectful with the way you speak about Dad. Good grief, I don't need a lecture from the likes of you. So, you're taking his side in all of this, are you? This isn't about taking sides, Mom. What are we, 6-year-olds? Both you and Dad have worked hard to provide for this family. It's not a competition. I fail to see the problem with Dad relaxing and living off his pension after working his ass off for over 50 years. In 10 more years, you'll be retiring and doing the same yourself, right? I'm not saying you should get on your knees and thank him for his efforts, but surely you could at least not be so disrespectful towards him. Yeah, whatever. Is the sermon over now? If you'll excuse me, I'm surrounded by mountains of invoices and they aren't going to complete themselves. Unlike your father, some of us have work to do. I'll be eating in the office cafeteria tonight, so I won't be needing your dad's crummy stew. Wow, I see how it is. You didn't take in a single word of what I just said, did you? And are you seriously insulting his stew now, too? Ugh. You know, Mom, you're seriously starting to rile me up. I suggest you reevaluate the way you talk about my dad, and soon.
Hey, Emily, my sweet, delicious honey pie. Is now a good time? There's something I need to check with you.
Good morning, Chester, my rugged love muffin. It's not like you to message me this early. What's up?
Well, did your mom sleep away from the house last night by any chance? Or was she at home with you and your dad?
My mom? Apparently there was some trouble at the office that made her miss the last train, and she couldn't get a hold of a taxi without waiting over an hour. So she decided to sleep at a hotel near her company. She should be going straight to work from the hotel today.
I see. Is that what she told you?
Yes. This kind of thing has become pretty common ever since she got that promotion. To be honest, if anything, it's more unusual for her to be at home these days. She's the manager of a new department, so apparently she's constantly burdened with huge amounts of responsibility. And overtime has practically become part of her regular working hours.
I see.
What is it? Do you know something about my mom?
Well, it's just that... To be honest, I was hesitating about whether to mention this to you, what with me and you getting married next month. I thought maybe the timing was a bit off. But then kicking the can down the road ain't gonna do anyone any favors either.
Huh? If there's something bugging you, then you should tell me.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry for dragging it out. I bet I sound crazy dramatic right about now. To be honest with you, it's pretty heavy.
To tell you the truth, I think my mom's been acting weird for a while now. I get the impression she's hiding something from me and my dad, so if you know anything, I'd like to hear it.
You do? I see.
Yep, and I'm not the only one. My dad's feeling pretty anxious over the way she's behaving too, so go on, tell me.
Your dad too? Damn. In that case, I really should tell you. Alright, babe, I'll tell you. I'm serious, though it's heavy. You might want to sit down for this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
The thing is, I think your mom might be having an affair.
What?
You know that big, flashy, extravagant hotel that looks like a castle I go past on my way to work?
Yeah, the one with a reputation for being seedy and attracting a less than respectable clientele?
Bingo. Well, the thing is, last night on my way home from work, I just so happened to see your mom going in there with one of my coworkers.
Whoa, what the heck? Hang on a sec. How old is your coworker?
The same age as me.
What? Oh my god, are you serious? I'm shocked enough that she's having an affair, but to think she's cheating on my dad with someone old enough to be her son? That's disgusting.
If she wasn't married, there wouldn't be an issue. I mean, it'd still be kinda weird, but if it made them happy, then who would we be to comment, right? Of course, she is married, though. And that's not all. Your dad isn't the only one being cheated on here. My coworker is married. With kids.
Oh my god, he's married too?
I'm sorry, babe. I know how shocking this is.
It's fine, I appreciate you telling me. Should I tell my dad about this? He might have some questions for you if I do.
That's fine. I don't mind.
Alright, got it. I'm sorry to trouble you like this. Knowing what my dad's like, I wouldn't be surprised if he hired a private investigator to gather evidence for him.
Got it. I'm happy to go along with whatever your dad decides he wants to do. I should probably tell my mom and dad about it too. They think you're amazing though, so don't worry. It won't make them opposed to the wedding or anything like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. And thank you, Chester. Mom, I didn't see you this morning and now you're not even at the church? Where the hell are you? Mom, how about you answer the frickin' phone? What do you want? My phone is blowing up because of you, you silly girl. Answer me. Where are you? At work, obviously. I'm always at work. Why even bother asking questions you already knew the answer to? You're at work today? Yes, I had to come in on my day off due to some trouble at the office. This has been decided since last week. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy at work, so quit bugging me. I might have to stay at the office again tonight, so if you don't hear from me again, that's why. So you're at work, are you? Yes. Now, if you understand, you can stop messaging me now. Mom, sorry to bug you while you're away having an affair, but today is my wedding day. Huh? Oh, you forgot, huh? Fine, I've heard enough now. This conversation is over. What the? No! Wait a second, dear. Wasn't your wedding supposed to be next week? No, next week's when we leave for the honeymoon. Wait. Seriously? Don't bother showing up at the church today. I think you'd sorely regret it if you did. You see, I'm currently in the process of apologizing to everybody, including our relatives and Chester's entire family, for your absence. You're doing what now? Rest assured, I'm telling everybody exactly why you're not here, because you're on vacation having an affair with your lover. What the hell do you think you're playing at, you silly little girl? Do you have any idea how much damage you'll do to my reputation? I'm just relieved that Chester's parents were kind and big-hearted enough to understand that your despicable behavior isn't a reflection on me and didn't change their minds on giving us their blessing for the wedding. Stop! I'm on my way to the church! The wedding will be over by the time you get here. Huh? What do you mean? It would take you 3 hours to drive out all this way. Even if you left right this instant, you still wouldn't come close to making it on time. What? How the hell do you know that? Because Dad hired a private investigator who found out which hotel you and your lover are staying at. A private investigator? Has he lost his mind? He already found out about how your lover is one of your clients from another company. In fact, we've known for a while now. Oh my God! Oh, this can't be happening! Whatever you do now, it's too little, too late, so you may as well give up. I'm sorry to spoil your cheater's vacation with Loverboy, Mom. I feel bad. You were so excited about it you forgot your own daughter's wedding. How about you just forget about this whole thing and enjoy your time away? Your lover is obviously far, far more important to you than me and Dad ever were. Oh my God, Emily, please. I still have some preparations to make for the wedding. Bye. Emily, oh my God. Do you know where your dad went? I can't find him anywhere. He's not at the house. What do you want? I just canceled my vacation and came home, but all of your dad's things are gone and he's nowhere to be seen. Wow, you only just noticed? What do you mean, only just? How long has he been gone? Dad started moving his things a week ago. A week ago? He left a set of signed divorce papers in a folder containing all the proof of your affair with me this morning. You'll find them on the living room table. Oh, and he obviously has separate copies of the evidence, so destroying it won't accomplish anything. Dad felt awful about asking me to deal with something so crappy on my wedding day. And to be honest, I felt awful about how awful he felt. That said, I felt I had an obligation to take them to the house. In my mind, it was my way of declaring the end of our relationship and making the mental preparations to remove you from my life. Remove me from your life? What on earth are you talking about, Emily? Don't say such crazy things. How is it crazy? This was obviously going to happen. How did you think I'd react to finding out my mom was having an affair with a guy twice her age? How did you think I'd react to you being so wrapped up in your affair that you'd forget your own daughter's wedding day? You disgust me. Oh my God, what are you even saying? This is no way to speak to your mother. You mean the same mother whose cheater's vacation was more important to her than my wedding? You betrayed me, Mom. Do you have any idea how I felt? Do you have any idea how Dad feels after you betrayed him by cheating on him with some pipsqueak office nerd? Half his age after he spent his entire life doing backbreaking manual labor to provide for you and this family. That's, Oh, and let's not forget your lover's wife. Do you have any idea how she feels? Do you have any idea how any of us feel? The answer is no, isn't it? Because you don't care. What am I even supposed to say to that? It's okay to admit you're a narcissistic manipulator who doesn't give a rat's ass about other people. We're cutting you out of our lives for good now anyway, so it's not like it makes any difference. You're cutting me out of your lives? Make no mistake, though, you will pay for what you did to us, you lying, cheating waste of space. You can't escape from the hellfire that's about to rain down on you, you despicable witch. Pay? Goodbye. Emily, please. You have to tell your dad to withdraw this compensation claim. There's no way I can afford to pay all this. Has he lost his mind? I already lost my job. My boss found out I was giving Chad preferential treatment on our business contracts to keep him happy so he wouldn't break up with me. In a certain sense, I'm the victim in all this. My asshole boyfriend's the one who's in the wrong for making sexual advances against me to get ahead at work. Hello? Are you looking at these messages? I can see the tick mark. Stop ignoring me. Emily, please, I'm begging you. Isn't there some way we can make all of this go away? I feel terrible about what I did. Simply terrible. Honestly, I don't know what came over me and made me act so stupidly. I'm begging you, won't you please talk to your father? Won't you make him see sense? He'll listen to you. Won't you tell him to forgive me, please? Oh, pretty please, with a cherry on top? Ugh, I'm begging you. You have to save our marriage, darling. Emily, why won't you answer my calls? Why are you ignoring my messages? Don't I at least deserve a reply? I'm your mother. I am the victim in all this, goddammit! You're my daughter. Surely you understand how none of this is my fault. Emily! I didn't have the energy to respond to any of my mom's crap, so I tried to pretend I blocked her. Unfortunately, she wasn't as tech illiterate as I'd hoped, and she realized I could see her messages when she saw the tick marks, meaning I had no choice but to actually block her before the notifications drove me insane. The next day, just to be safe, I got a new number. True to form as the most stubborn person I've ever known, she refused to agree to the divorce for a whole 6 months, constantly insisting that she, and not my dad, was the victim in all of this. Eventually, my mom's brother, my uncle, lost his patience and gave her a furious lecture said to be so loud it could be heard from 5 blocks away. And with that, she finally agreed to sign the divorce papers. To my surprise, she even paid my dad all of the compensation he asked for in one lump sum. Who knows, maybe she does have a conscience after all. I wouldn't bet on it, though. Newly single and afraid of being alone, my mom did try showing up at her ex-lover's place after finding out his wife had also divorced him. But unfortunately for my mom, he had found himself a new girlfriend during the 6 months she'd spent fighting the divorce. And it was at that moment that the grave reality that he'd been using her as a tool to advance his career truly sunk in. With that, consumed with jealous rage, she transformed into a feral beast and launched an attack on them as they went out for a meal at a restaurant one evening. I don't know the details, but I do know that the police were called and charges were filed. As for me, Chester, and my dad, all we can say is thank God we cut her out of our lives. Life's too short to keep toxic people like my ex-mom around. Here's to the future.